So then we arrive at Nanaho's ninja village, in where our heroes find Tiger, standing guard seemingly on Nanaho's side, or at the very least against the idea of Yuga and Luke saving Swirly. Plus, we also got to see Yuga's mother. She's a sweet lady. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton, and today let's talk about episode 76 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's anime series. A surprising episode that leaves us with a lot of questions that need answering. Now then, before we talk about Tiger, I want to bring up the topic of Roman and Gakuto. After all, they appear at the very end of this episode, and personally I thought this was rather odd, for a few reasons. Reason number one, Roman was wearing her normal outfit, where in episode 75 she was in her beauty Roman form. Yes, you could say that she easily changed her clothes, but my question to that is, why would she? Yuo knows that she likes wearing the beauty Roman outfit, plus whenever she's in the Goha building, she's normally wearing her chef uniform. Reason number two, the animation. Now this could have simply been due to budget reasons, but upon seeing both Gakuto and Roman in this episode, they looked off, they looked weird. Kind of like they weren't drawn correctly. And number three, I can understand Gakuto apologizing, but why would Roman apologize? She never really did anything wrong in the last episode, so her apologizing was kind of fishy. Basically, could these two be the insect ninjas instead of the real Gakuto and Roman? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below, or am I overthinking it? Okay, so let's talk about Tiger. Her getting the win over Yuga was great, especially because of the way she did it. Making your opponent lose while they're attacking you is something we don't often see within Yu-Gi-Oh! So this I thought was slightly unique in the way that Tiger beat Yuga. Plus, her winning helps reinforce the fact that she did not want them going after Nanaho. We can tell that Tiger had a strong desire to stop our heroes and that it was genuine, because not only did she win the duel to reinforce that desire, but she also didn't get mad at Luke when Luke was saying, you know, big sister, what are you up to? Which, this in of itself showcases a level of seriousness for the situation. And she doubles down on preventing them from going after Nanaho after Yuga refuses to stand down. It's clear that Tiger has her reasons. Personally, I like to think that Tiger has seen the destructive nature of Nanaho firsthand, and wishes to prevent her friends and brother from that torture. And speaking of friends, that line from Tiger in where she stated, "This naive facade of friendship you're putting on makes me sick." I love this line, simply because it adds doubt in my mind, thinking, was this actually Tiger? Or was this Nanaho? Simply because this line was very similar to what Nanaho said in episode 75. But, more importantly, it makes me think about, is she right? And my answer to that is, possibly. Because so far, can our main heroes really say they're a true friend to Swirly? Because as far as we know, they haven't bothered asking Swirly for his real name yet, nor do they know what he looks like under that costume. To me, I would say at best, they're acquaintances to Swirly. Another awesome line from Tiger within this episode was that chant, in where she states, "Your foolishness, shallowness, immaturity, and thoughtlessness, are you ready to repent in hell?" Oh, this sent chills down my spine, as I started to think of Season 1 Judai in this particular moment, the main protagonist from GX, as his personality kind of mimics some of those words. Because for the start of the series, he was kind of mature, kind of laid back, and maybe a little bit thoughtless because of his laid back attitude and his love for dueling. Plus, this line does make logical comparisons to Yuga, as he again is a very happy-go-lucky type of character and is very positive. Some might say that positivity makes him a little bit immature at times. Plus, he could also be foolish in going up against Nanaho. As for the duel itself, I didn't mind it. I love seeing the new monsters from Tiger. I thought this was great. Her fusion monster is kind of busted in terms of its skill, and seeing how Tiger managed to take down both a fusion and a maximum in the same duel was awesome. Plus, it helps to add more credibility to her dueling style once again. I'm not the biggest fan though of the maximum being destroyed first, as this kind of makes it so that fusions are superior to maximums, which I guess is kind of obvious at this point, but still, I prefer maximums than fusions, but I guess everyone has their tastes. Another surprising thing from this episode was the return of Nail. And it turns out he loves ramen so much that he's now a delivery boy for the company. But I think the most intriguing thing about this character returning and the change to the character is the fact that he believes in this urban legend about a card that can control someone else through dueling. He thinks that this card might actually exist. And you know what? I never would have thought Nail of all people would believe that type of stuff, simply because I thought he was more of like science, logic and providence. But he does say that it goes against his providence, so I guess we'll have to see about that. Then again, it was very cool seeing him in this episode. It was a pleasant surprise. Now, it was pointed out to me on Twitter that the delivery poster shown within this episode was a reference to the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's manga cover. So thanks again for that knowledge, because I've not read the 5D's manga yet, so I'll never have noticed that. However, now that I've been told this, I can't unsee the horse, as you say. Cheers. And finally, let's talk about that forbidden card, with the power to control other people through the means of dueling. The next episode preview makes this card out to be Monster Reborn, and if this is true, this is going to be awesome. And I can see how the idea of taking control over someone else might be possible with the Monster Reborn spell card. Its effect reads as follows: target one monster within either player's graveyard, so your graveyard or your opponent's, and special summon that monster. Plus, Swirly does act and look like a monster in this current form. However, if this is the case, then the show just got even darker, as this would mean either Nanaho or Roman's Curry killed Swirly, in order for him to be reborn as this monster that we see him acting like. In all seriousness though, the next episode looks to be very exciting, and Swirly seems to be dueling Yuo of all characters. A lot of things should get revealed, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's have it right now. Overall, this was a great episode of Sevens that debunks the Yuga for Goha 6 sibling theory, as we see Yuga's mother, and she seems like a rather kind, sweet lady. Plus, that joke in where Yuo thought he was paying for the recorded message on the phone was great. It was a good bit of comedy, especially when looking at how polite Yuo sounded within that voice message. Another thing that this episode continues to do is build the character of Nanaho and her group into a more interesting antagonist, without really having them appear very much. Yes, we hear Nanaho's amazing laugh once again, and I could not be happier about that. Plus, we also see a very evil grin from the character, but the mystery surrounding her character and group makes her so fascinating that I just want to learn more about that faction. Plus, nothing is going to change my mind, but this looks like a ninja insect Seto Kaiba. Now then, how can I forget about God Kaizo? Because this was brilliant, and I wonder if Yuga knew that Kaizo could actually do that. Plus, why does Kaizo do that? Because after all, the hellish treatment and the modifications Yuga's done to him, I guess he did it to fuel his over-the-top, oversized ego. Kaizo was pretty funny in this episode, so thanks Kaizo. The music was excellent throughout, and it helps to create a bit of drama / tension in places where it needed to, which overall helped to create more of an enjoyment experience. But with all that said and done, those are my thoughts on this episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review. If you have, comment, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff for more youth Yu-Gi-Oh things in the future. Alligator, Madane, goodbye. Have a great day.